Hello students, welcome to biology class. Today we'll study autonomic nervous system. In the last video we have seen about reflex action and different types of reflexes. Autonomic nervous system, it transmits impulses from central nervous system to the involuntary organs and smooth muscles of the body. It controls internal environment or working of visceral organs, and it consists of a special set of peripheral nerves that regulate the activities of involuntary organs like smooth muscles, cardiac muscles, glands, etc. So ANS, that is autonomic nervous system, consists of motor nerve fibers only. And on basis of location, ANS is divided into two, that is sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. So sympathetic nervous system is also called as thoracolumbar outflow, and it consists of 22 pairs of sympathetic ganglia. And they are linearly arranged on two sympathetic cords running on either side of the vertebral column. And it is connected to central nervous system by spinal nerve fibers. Sympathetic nervous system, they work during stress, pain, fear, anger, or in case of emergency. And it secretes hormone adrenaline or noradrenaline as emergency hormones. Now parasympathetic nervous system, they are also called as craniosacral outflow, and it consists branches from cranial 3, 7, 9 and 10th nerve, while sacral 2 and 3 nerve and spinal 4th nerves. So it is antagonistic to sympathetic nervous system. Means its function, they are, or you can say action, they are opposite to sympathetic nervous system. It brings back to normal activities which are stimulated by sympathetic nervous system. Now, parasympathetic nervous system consists of nerve fibers running along some cranial nerves and sacral nerves. And parasympathetic ganglia, they are present on the side of visceral organs like heart, lungs, kidney, stomach, etc. It releases acetylcholine, which is acting as a neurotransmitter as well as inhibitor of visceral organs. So these nerves or this nervous system works during rest and brings about relaxation, comfort, pleasure, etc. Here you can see different functions of parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system. Sympathetic nervous system brings about dilation of pupil and stimulates secretion of tears from tear gland, while parasympathetic nervous system, it constricts pupil and inhibits secretion of tears. Parasympathetic nervous system stimulates flow of saliva, while sympathetic nervous system inhibits flow of saliva. Sympathetic nervous system accelerates heartbeat, while parasympathetic nervous system slows heartbeat. Parasympathetic nervous system, it constricts bronchi, dilates blood vessels and lowers blood pressure, while sympathetic nervous system, it dilates bronchi, constricts blood vessels and increases blood pressure. Sympathetic nervous system inhibits bladder contraction, that is a urinary bladder contraction, while parasympathetic nervous system, it contracts urinary bladder. We can easily compare between two nervous systems, that is sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. Here in the chart we can see heartbeat. So sympathetic effect is it increases heartbeat, while parasympathetic it decreases. Then arterial blood pressure. it is increased by sympathetic effect while decreased by parasympathetic effect. Pupil of eye, it is dilated by sympathetic nerve and constricted by parasympathetic nerve. Blood vessels, they are constrict because of sympathetic effect while they are dilated due to parasympathetic effect. Then gastrointestinal movements, means the movements which are taking place in the intestine and stomach. So sympathetic effect, it retards peristalsis while it is accelerated by parasympathetic nerves. And urinary bladder, relaxation of bladder is done by sympathetic nerve while contraction of bladder is done by parasympathetic nerve. Next we'll come to sensory receptors. So they are specialized structures in the body to receive various stimuli from external or internal environment. The nature of the receptor is defined by a type of stimuli that is it can respond. For example, photoreceptor, they respond to light, and their classification is on the basis of their location, function, and their sensitivity to specific stimuli. So here is a chart which show classification of receptor. First of all, they are classified into two groups. First, exteroreceptors and second, interoreceptors. We'll see first exteroreceptors. They receive external stimuli. Here first is phonoreceptors and location is internal ear. Its function as sound reception. Next is statoreceptor. It is located in the internal ear in semicircular canals and function as receptors for maintaining balance and equilibrium. Third is photoreceptors. They are present in the retina of eye and their function is to receive sensory stimuli for vision. Fourth is thermoreceptors. So they are present in the skin and they function as or they receive sensory stimulus for heat and cold. Next is mechanoreceptors. Again they are present in the skin and they function as sensitive to mechanical stimuli like touch, pain, pressure or deep pressure. Next is chemoreceptors. They are again of two types, gustatoreceptors and olfactoreceptors. So gustatoreceptors, they are located in the taste bud of the tongue and they function as sensitive to taste of sweet, sour, bitter or any other taste. While olfactory receptors, they are present in the olfactory epithelium of nose and they are sensitive to bring about 10,000 different smells. Next group is interoreceptors. So they receive stimuli coming from within the body. Here again three types are there. Enteroreceptors, which are located in the internal body organs. They function as or they are sensitive to stimuli coming from internal organs like thirst, hunger, pain, osmotic change, etc. Then proprioceptors. They are present in the joint, muscles and tendons. They detect changes in the movement of joints, tendons and muscle. They detect pain, tension and sensitive to vibrations. Third is baroreceptors. They are present in the walls of arteria, vena cava then aortic arch and carotid sinus. And they function in the sense change in blood pressure so as to restore hemostasis through vasodilation or vasoconstriction. So this is all about autonomic nervous system and sensory receptor. I hope students you have understood. Okay then students, take care, goodbye.